This is the QTV Nightly News coming to you from our studios on Karaba Avenue, and I am Jul Denjai. Thank you for joining us. Here are the main news headlines. As part of the ongoing delivery forum, President Barrow received National Water and Electricity Company NAWEC officials at the State House today. The Vice President of the Gambia on Tuesday updated the National Assembly on government's implementation of the Assembly's resolutions on government's 2019 audited accounts. The Minister of Trade, Babukar Ojuf, has revealed that the current national stock and prices of basic food commodities remains stable despite increase in prices. In international news, today, Tuesday, the people of Mauritius jointly celebrate the country's independence from Britain in 1968 and its transition to a republic in 1992. In sports news, the Gambia's hopes of successfully defending their beach volleyball gold medal in the male category at the African Games in Ghana came to a shocking end after losing their consecutive matches. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. Thank you very much for joining us. Before we head into the rest of the news, here is a public announcement.
To a fake Mohammed Jah Facebook account seemingly set up in the last few days. The account carries Mohammed Jah's photo and the QCell logo, as well as a purported message from Mohammed Jah. The account carries a misspelling of Mohammed Jah's first name, and the public are urged not to respond to or engage with the account, as it has nothing to do with Mohammed Jah or QCell and appears designed to deceive.
Now, as part of the ongoing delivery forum, President Barrow received officials of the National Water and Electricity Company NAWEC at the State House today. The meeting was an opportunity to update the President on NAWEC's level of electricity projects implementation. Aliou Cisse was there, and this is his report.
The Energy and Petroleum Minister, Abdoulaye Diop, is leading the NAWEC's delegation, which also includes its Managing Director, Nani Juara, to the President. The Minister of Energy and Petroleum said they use the delivery forum to update the President about the key electricity access projects being implemented by the government through NAWEC. The projects are the Gambia Electricity Restoration and Modernization Project, the ECOWAS Regional Electricity Access Project, and also the Gambia Electricity Access Project, among others. According to Minister Diop, NAWEC and its project partners have done tremendously well with so much progress compared to the last delivery forum. But nonetheless, Diop said there are still some challenges to which the President has given them guidance as to what needs to be done in order to overcome those challenges. But overall, His Excellency is very pleased about the progress of these projects, which he has promised Gambians, Minister Diop told the State House Press Corps. These electricity projects will provide in excess of 800 communities electricity as part of the government's agenda of reaching universal access to electricity by 2025. Nani Juara, Managing Director of NAWEC, said the meeting is about holding them accountable for the tasks they are assigned to implement. Just as his minister, the NAWEC boss said a significant progress has been registered, with most of the projects at an advanced stage and others inaugurated, such as the 23-megawatt solar plant in Jambur. He confirmed that most of the installation works for the electricity access projects are ongoing, and the contractors are mobilizing more teams to make sure the projects are ready on schedule. He promised that most of the projects will be commissioned by the President this year. He asked for the continued support of all Gambians for the successful implementation of these life-changing projects. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
Now, the Vice President of the Gambia on Tuesday updated the National Assembly on government's implementation of the Assembly's resolutions on government's 2019 audited accounts. In his update, the Vice President highlighted ongoing criminal proceedings and police investigations into cases of fraud across government institutions, which had been flagged in audit report. Momodou Lamin Choi reports.
The National Assembly is convening in its first ordinary session to perform its legislative and oversight functions. Appearing before the lawmakers in this sitting is the Vice President, Mohamed Bias Jallo. VP Jallo is updating NAMS on government's implementation of the National Assembly's 2023 resolutions on the 2019 audited accounts of government. Last year, the National Assembly passed resolutions asking government to resolve incidences of malpractice, including financial fraud, which had been identified and queried by auditors.
Some staff of the Directorate of National Treasury were involved in some unauthorized withdrawal of public funds from the old Treasury main account amounting to $4,064,363.15 bututs. The case was reported to the police for investigation. Upon the completion of the investigation by the police, it was sent to the courts and the culprits were subsequently prosecuted.
In the resolutions, ministries, departments and government agencies were asked to provide a comprehensive list of the fraud cases, failing which the Inspector General of Police must launch investigations. While police investigations and prosecutions have been made on the fraud cases, 3 suspects have been reported missing.
See Brikama Sub-Treasury. This involves a fraud case of unaccounted revenue to the tune of $6,592,172.50 bututs by Faisal Bojang at Brikama Sub-Treasury. The matter is at the courts. However, we were informed that the accused has absconded. Department of Forestry, Parks and Wildlife. This is a fraud case involving Mr. Mas Cham to the tune of $89,500. An amount of $510,060 was recovered during the course of the police investigations, leaving an outstanding balance of $329,440. The investigations were completed, but the accused absconded. A fraud case amounting to €27,500 involving Faisal Bojang at the Gambia Embassy, Paris, was reported on the 14th February 2014. Upon the completion of the investigation by the police, the case was forwarded to the court for prosecution. The case cannot proceed as the culprit has absconded.
Following his update to the Assembly, the Vice President takes questions from the NAMS who seek clarifications on the information they have been provided. Here is National Assembly member for Busumbala constituency, Mohamed Kante.
I just want to know whether it was well before the matter is reported at the police or they abscond under the police custody. And what happened to the authorities, if so?
At this point, I don't have the response, but it's the same question I asked myself. If somebody has absconded, there are sorties. Whether the sorties will have been followed up, I don't have the answer at this point.
After completing its audit of government accounts, the Auditor General submits a report of findings to the National Assembly for consideration and adoption. It is in line with this oversight function that the National Assembly passes resolutions to ensure accountability on cases of financial malpractice, including fraud and misappropriations of funds. Mahmoud Lamin Chai, QTV News.
Interesting revelations there. Now, the Minister of Trade, Babukar Ojuf, has revealed that the current national stock and prices of basic food commodities remain stable despite increase in prices. He was speaking at a press briefing on Monday, and Sumana Isonyasi was there, and this is his report.
The press briefing is a customary activity of the ministry in anticipation of the holy month of Ramadan. It is aimed at sharing with the public current prices of essential food commodities, factors responsible for price hikes, and measures instituted by government to lessen the impact of global price hikes. Babukar Ojuf, the Minister of Trade, says the national stock of essential food commodities such as rice, sugar and oil as at 4th March 2024 is as follows.
As at 4th of March, we had in this country 24,973 metric tons of rice. Sugar, which is another very, very important one during Ramadan and Lent, 17,115 metric tons were in the country on the 4th of March. Flour, as at 4th of March, 1,703 metric tons, and that's in addition to the fact that production at our 2 mills continue. So there is no likelihood that flour will also be short.
Minister Diouf attributes the increase in the prices of some commodities to both national and external factors. He also reveals that the Gambian government has successfully negotiated with the Indian government for the importation of sugar to the Gambia, the allocations of which have already been done.
The average wholesale price is a reflection of the stock levels or the stock level table. As stocks of most commodities increased in the month of March, we observed a general stability in the wholesale price, except for a few which have increased slightly, including rice and chicken legs.
Meanwhile, he also revealed that retail prices of most essential food commodities continue to increase in the month of March 2024, as noticed in the sharp increase of the price of rice, sugar and cement. He disclosed that American rice per 50 kilogram, which was sold at $1,850 as of the second week of February, is being sold at $2,150 as of the 4th of March 2024, and a similar increase has been noticed in the prices of sugar and cement.
Another factor that plays a part in all this is the exchange rate of our dalasi against major global currencies. The US dollar, which is the most popular currency for trade globally, has not been very generous with our dalasi recently.
As he outlines government's commitment to ensuring food security, the trade minister says he is confident that the country will not experience any shortages given the current stock of commodities such as sugar, rice, flour and edible oil. And the minister also emphasized the need to support the local production of essential food commodities, citing successful Gambian businessmen such as Q Group's Mohamed Jah, who have ventured into farming in a bid to complement government's efforts to meet national food self-sufficiency drive. Ansumana Isonyasi for KTV News.
That report by Ansumana Isonyasi takes us to a commercial break. When we return, we have some more local, international, as well as sports news stories for you. Don't go away.
The future is now with QCell's 5G network. Experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fix internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled devices. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyapus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
The art of juggling is a true spectacle of agility, coordination, and speed. A symbol of progression, precision, and mastery. "5G speed is like having the juggler in your pocket. With lightning-fast download and upload speeds, you'll easily be able to juggle even the busiest workdays. Whether you're a busy entrepreneur, a creative, or just someone who wants to stay connected. Juggle your tasks with ease with QCell 5G speed. The future is here. It's fast, reliable, and efficient. First brought to you by QCell. We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back. If you are just tuning in, this is QTV News with me, Jul Denjai, and now to the rest of our stories. A national dialogue on FGM and Islam was organized by the National Population Secretariat on Sunday, attended by scholars from the Gambia and the Al-Azhar University's International Center for Population Studies and Research in Egypt. Babakar Sise reports.
This dialogue, held at the Gambia Supreme Islamic Council,
comes at a time when the debate on the enforcement of FGM law by children and women's rights activists and attempts to repeal the law intensifies in the National Assembly, where a National Assembly member has proposed a bill to repeal the current ban. Mariama Fane is Director of Population at the National Population Commission Secretariat.
Our aim is to explore the multifaceted dimensions of FGC or FGM, examining it from cultural, religious, and public health perspectives.
A medical doctor, Babandin Dafe, at Kanifing General Hospital, spoke about his experience with women who underwent FGM.
A young girl who was circumcised in Tujera in 2015 came to the hospital when I was on duty. When they brought the girl, was completely no sign of life. I asked the woman who brought the girl, and they told me that it was a circumcision. That girl was dead.
Sheikh Ibrahim Jaju, chairman of the National Hajj Commission, refutes all claims that FGM is harmful. It is not true that women have lost their lives due to FGM. My mother is a circumciser, and no girl has died under her or had any problem up to the time she passed away. Islam advises women to remove a little bit from it, not to remove everything. So those who say Islam is against it and it affects women is not true. Imam Basiru Drame of the Gambia Supreme Islamic Council KMC regional representative is not in support of FGM.
One example is a young lady, she was taken to, and this thing was performed to her. She has had 2 children, but every time she's about to deliver, it would be a life and death thing. And that is because of FGM. That is what the doctors told.
Al-Haji Imam Usman Jah, an Islamic scholar, has this to say.
If anything Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam found and he didn't say stop it, we cannot say it's haram. But we should look at the way Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said it. Prophet said, "Ashummi wala tunhiki," meaning do it lightly and don't do it deeply. Secondly, my humble opinion is that I don't see that it is fair to leave any Tom, Dick and Harry exercising this practice. No, we should give it to medical practitioners to do it.
All the international representatives who spoke at the event spoke against FGM. Imam Abdullah Fati, an Islamic scholar, says he can equally organize a forum and invite scholars who share his belief that FGM is a sunnah from an authentic hadith. Imam Babali, who believes that FGM is a harmful practice, says his opinion may be different to that of other scholars, but that doesn't mean they are enemies. As the debate on the practice deepens, opinions remains divided. Babukar Sise, QTV News.
Well, interesting forum there. Now to international news. Today, Tuesday, the people of Mauritius jointly celebrate the country's independence from Britain in 1968 and its transition to a republic in 1992. Aliou Cissé reports.
Mauritius Day, as it is called, is celebrated on 12 March. It is a national holiday and celebrated with a colorful parade, including a military parade. The flag hoisting ceremony is also part of the celebrations. On 12 March 1968, Mauritius was proclaimed a constitutional monarchy with Queen Elizabeth II remaining head of state. Sir Siwosagu Ramgulan became the country's prime minister. 24 years later, on March 12, 1992, Mauritius was proclaimed a republic within the British Commonwealth. Celebrants usually use the day to reflect on the sacrifices made by their forefathers who fought for freedom and to celebrate the vibrant cultures and colors that make the country a unique and beautiful island nation. Mauritius, officially the Republic of Mauritius, is an island country in the Indian Ocean, about 2,000 kilometers, 1,100 nautical miles off the southeastern coast of East Africa, east of Madagascar. The popular tourist destination was first occupied by the Portuguese. However, the Portuguese were not happy to live on the islands and soon abandoned them. Then the islands were occupied by the Dutch people who established settlements on them. However, the settlements were not profitable and the Dutch soon abandoned the islands. After the Dutch, the French also occupied the country and brought enslaved people from Africa and India to work on the plantation. Later, during Napoleon's War, the British captured the islands, converting Mauritius into a plantation colony under the British Empire. Once dependent on sugar exports, Mauritius has built a strong outsourcing and financial service sector, as well as an important tourism industry, and now boasts one of Africa's highest per capita incomes. On this day, we wish them a happy Mauritius Day. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cissé.
Happy Mauritius Day there to the people of Mauritius. Now let's look at sports news. And now the Gambia's hopes of successfully defending their beach volleyball gold medal in the male category at the African Games in Ghana came to a shocking end after defeats to Kenya and Sierra Leone in consecutive matches. Our sports reporter Momodu Gajaga takes a look.
One of Africa's top-ranked countries in beach volleyball, the Gambia's hopes of defending the crown they won in Rabat at the 2019 African Games came to a crashing end in Ghana on Monday. The Gambia first suffered 21-15 and 21-16 first and second set defeats to Kenya in their second match. While there was a slim hope of bouncing back, Sierra Leone dashed those hopes with a shocking straight sets win. The first set was close, ending at 22-20, while the second set was a comfortable 21-16 win for Sierra Leone. This surprising failure came after high hopes before their departure that the team had what it takes to defend their crown. Not being able to even reach the knockout stages is indeed very surprising. This is how the coach Pa Babukar Barrow reacted to the defeat to Kenya.
No, actually, Kenyan team was not the team that we counting on the most difficult team. But so unfortunately, in sport, at times the team that you underrate might be the team that can able to humiliate you. Is that what happened here? The Kenyan team and they are underdog. So unfortunately, it turned this way around. This one unfortunate.
Would you say we were not at our best today?
Actually, we didn't play our best. Actually, we didn't stick to the game plans. It was the players. In fact, I can say the players were using their own tactics, different from the tactics that we all agree on.
The Gambia team pair of Seni Jao and Bai Babu Jara, which had lasted for some years, had to change when Bai stopped playing. Seni partnered with Mario Damfa for the African Games in Ghana. The Gambia finished 19th in ranking at the 2019 Games in Rabat. On that occasion, the beach volleyball team won gold. Gina Bass won gold and silver in the 200 and 100 meters respectively. Mamudu Gajaga, QTV News.
Well, better luck to the Gambian team there. Now, before we end this bulletin, here is a recap of the headlines. As part of the ongoing delivery forum, President Barrow received National Water and Electricity Company NAWEC officials at the State House today. The Vice President of the Gambia on Tuesday updated the National Assembly on government's implementation of the Assembly's resolutions on government's 2019 audited accounts. The Minister of Trade, Babukar Ojuf, has revealed that the current national stock and prices of basic food commodities remains stable despite increase in prices. In international news, today, Tuesday, the people of Mauritius jointly celebrate their country's independence from Britain in 1968 and its transition to a republic in 1992. In sports news, the Gambia's hopes to successfully defending their beach volleyball golden medal in the male category at the African Games in Ghana came to a shocking end after defeats to Kenya and Sierra Leone in consecutive matches. That's all we have for you in this edition of the news. Join us again tomorrow at 8 p.m. for another bulletin. Many thanks indeed for the pleasure of your company. Ramadan Mubarak.